I should have saved you. I should have been the one to fill your dark soul with light!
Hi YouTube. I just finished playing every single DMC game all in a row. I did a Devil May Cry franchise marathon. I played all of the games, some of them for the first time. DMC and DMC 3 I played for the very first time, and then all the other games I just replayed. So I just want to give you guys my quick opinion on every game. So I'm just going to give a personal opinion, or I'm going to try my best to just keep it personal and not critical as well, because it's hard to do tier lists and not give a critical side and a personal side. I'll try to just be personal about it for the most part. I was originally going to do 2 separate tier lists, or try to, but I'm just going to do 1. Okay, we're just going to keep it personal. So let's start with the very first one, Devil May Cry. What do you guys think of Devil May Cry? Where would you guys put it? Thank you, Yuso. I already know where I'm going to put it. And so you're not gonna sway me. You're not gonna sway me. So I think Devil May Cry, for me, it was an A game. I don't think it was absolutely incredible, but it was a very good game. And for me personally, all the nods to like other Capcom games within Devil May Cry were really cool. Like even down to the soundtrack, there were so many nods to just Capcom games in general that I loved it. I loved Devil May Cry, and the only reason I think I'd put it in A is because I think other DMC games outshined it a little, but I just think it's an extremely solid game that aged decently well. I think the weapon variety is good enough, and the enemy variety is good. I think it's a short and sweet game. Like, I think when it comes to short games, there's 2 ways to look at it. If you love a franchise and it's getting a new game and that new game is really short, that sucks. But if you're just getting into a franchise, a great example is if you're getting into Resident Evil as a franchise, playing Resident Evil 3 Remake is a good thing. It's a short and sweet game. Like if you've never played an RE game before, it's awesome because you can do it in one sitting, and it's short and sweet. It's fun. Devil May Cry is the same way. It's a short and sweet game that it's not going to be offensive to anyone. I'm sure anyone who played that for the first time would not think like, oh, this is terrible, because it's got good everything. Like it's got a good soundtrack, it's got good gameplay, it's got good level design for the most part. I think it has the stronger level design of the franchise, in my opinion. I think it has my favorite, because in the others it's really focused around backtracking, which DMC may be focused, or Devil May Cry might be focused around backtracking a little bit as well, but not nearly as heavily as like something like 4, which 4 is literal a 50% backtrack, or like 40% backtrack or whatever. But yeah, I love Devil May Cry. I think it's awesome. It's super stylized. I really like the cutscenes. They're super funny. Or like I should have been the one to fill your dark soul with light. That's my favorite cutscene in the franchise, I think. But I love it. It's short and sweet. The secret levels are fun. The upgrade system is fun, and yeah, it's just a great game. I think it's a really good game that's aged decently well. Next up is Devil May Cry 2. So Devil May Cry 2 is so I had fun with this game. I had fun, but it was mainly because, and let me give you a little bit of a backstory too. I got to the 3rd level in this game, and then my power went out. I'm playing DMC 2. Some people do Devil May Cry franchise playthroughs and they skip 2 because 2 is such a bad rep. It has such a bad rep for being a bad game. Like everyone says it's bad, and people told me not even to buy. Oh, oh wow, he's really doing a DMC marathon. He's playing 2. Like people actually were surprised that I played it. I got a message from Andy Campbell, another streamer, on Discord a couple days ago, and he's like, hey man, I'm doing a Devil May Cry marathon as well. Do you think I should play 2? A lot of my chat thinks I shouldn't play it, or said something along those lines. And I was like, no, yeah, you should. Like, you know, it's not the greatest, but I think you should play it. Like, I think it's worth a play. But at the same, okay, so it's really hard to place this because of another game. But I enjoyed it for the most, but like, the thing is, it's a bad game. Critically, it's a terrible game. Critically, it's a bad game. You have a game where a lot of the time, you are using you're shooting your guns and killing things that you can't even see. Like you're killing stuff that's not even on the screen a lot of the time. And one great example is the helicopter boss fight. Like most of that boss fight, you can't even see them. You're just shooting your guns, and the gunshot sounds are annoying as fuck on top of that. I know this because I use primarily the guns in DMC2, but also that's one of DMC2's major problems, in my opinion, is that like the actual sword play is not fun. It's really especially if you compare it to 3 and 5 and 4 and DMC and even Devil May Cry 1. Like this, not only is the sword play bad in my opinion, I don't know why I'm like trying to be defensive about saying Devil May Cry 2 is a bad game. The swords are all samey and they're all boring. And then the guns are crazy but they're still boring, but they're at least a little crazy. But yeah, you have to use your guns basically in this game. The game revolves around gunplay for a casual first-time player like myself, and that sucks. In an action game, you're just spamming the shoot button or holding in the shoot button. This is a bad game. This is a very bad game. But I've played far worse. Okay. Yeah, the only way I can cope with this. Get out of here, Google Ads. The only way I could cope with this is adding an E. But if I could add something in E, I would. But all right, it's a D. Okay, it's a D, but I'm adding an E because because I can't put. I don't think it's like a trash game. I don't think it's like horrible. I don't think it's an awful game. Like I had some fun with it. I had some fun with it. Now, mainly because me and chat were making fun of it the whole time, but like it was funny. My main emotion that invoked while playing this game was laughter. It was funny. It made me like cry laughing because it was just that bad, but that made me have fun. So I'm not putting in an E. Next game is Devil May Cry 3. So Devil May Cry 3, Devil May Cry 3, man. I think it's one of the best action games ever made, easily. It has extremely fun gameplay. It has extremely fun everything. I think the bosses are fun. I think the enemies are fun to fight, and all of the enemies are different enough that you have to use different strategies to adapt to them. These statues where you have to master certain weapons. Now, saying that to a professional player, someone that's played through the game and the franchise many times, like, oh, you have to play really well. Like, it's easy for them. But for a casual player, man, I've watched people casually play DMC, and doing those statues is really tough for a lot of people. The statues are really fun. Like the skill statues, I mean, that break when you do bigger combos. Boss fights are fun. The voice acting is great. The story is great. Virgil is at his peak. Like the balance of powers between Dante and Virgil, I love their brothership. Reminds me of like me and my brothers, and I feel like that's a big reason why I connect with DMC3 a lot, just because seeing how brothers interact and they hate each other, but you know, they love each other, but they also fucking hate each other. I get some comfort from the brother stories always. What? LOL? I can explain something to you if you don't know how human psychology works. If you play God of War Ragnarok, a game that revolves around taking care of your son, and you yourself have a son in real life, you are going to connect with that game on a far more personal level, and you will like it more than someone that doesn't have a kid. That is why I mentioned brothers in DMC3, because I have brothers, and seeing two brothers interact on a screen is relatable. When things are relatable as a human, you enjoy them more usually. That's why with your best friends and with people at work, when you relate to them with things, you get along better, okay? Anyway, amazing gunplay, amazing gameplay. The only downside in DMC3 was I felt like the gunslinger stance, like there are 4 stances in the game: Royal Guard, Gunslinger, Trickster, and Sword Master, I think it's called. Gunslinger was like, it felt really bad. Now I'm sure, oh no, there's actually 6 stances, or 5. There's also Doppelganger, and then there's Time Stop. I can forget what that's called. Or 6 stances. What's the Time Stop called? Quicksilver. and they're all really fun. I think they all have a place. Like they're all, you can find a player that uses one of them primarily, and they're all good. Like Quicksilver was insanely good. Doppelganger probably has its place. I couldn't really find a good use for it for the most part because it uses your devil trigger. Now Quicksilver also uses your devil trigger, but you can use it, when you initiate Quicksilver, you get iframes from it, so you can't take damage. And those things combined with Quicksilver being a time stop, so you can do like an ultra combo, and then getting the iframes, it's really good. So they all have their place, but I did feel like Gunslinger was a little bad, only because you could use Royal Guard to make like the sniper rifle, for example, super strong. You could just Royal Guard cancel shots for the sniper, which is way better than the Gunslinger sniper use for a casual player, and that was my experience. But yeah, amazing story, amazing gameplay, great pacing. I just loved the game. I think, in my opinion, Devil May Cry 3 is one of the best action games ever made, and still holds up to this day. If you're on the fence about playing it, everything is telling you to play it. It's the first in the franchise. It has aged well. The characters are great. The soundtrack is great. And I guarantee you'll have fun with it because it's a great game. The only downside, casually, for DMC3 is for a casual gamer, it's a very hard game. But you can just play on an easier difficulty. And on top of that, you can just farm orbs to make the game easier for yourself. And if you're really struggling, you can look up strats online that make your experience a lot easier. But yeah, I do think it's a god tier game. One of the best games ever made, in my opinion. DMC4. Okay, so DMC4, I also really liked. I really liked the story. I like Nero a lot, and Dante and Nero's relationship was fun to see, and Dante is at his peak in 4. I think Dante in 4 is my favorite, where you can see he has matured past 3, and like not only has he matured personality wise, not matured as in like he's not silly anymore, but he's like, you could tell he's a professional at this shit now. Like he's not worried about a goddamn thing. He never was, but it's the personification of that happens in 4. And not only that, but even in Dante's gameplay, it felt like it exuded the fact that he has mastered everything that he was good at in 3, and he's now way better at it. So from a gameplay perspective, I think 4 is insanely good. Nero with his charge attacks, like revving his sword up and doing the overdrive attacks, like pressing the overdrive button at the same time as your swing is hitting, or like it's different timing for every single combo. But that was really, really fun. Like his gameplay is so fun. And then Dante's is like, oh my God, the skill ceiling in Devil May Cry 4 is nuts. Like the skill ceiling is crazy in most of the DMC games, but in 4, it's just like, it was crazy. When I switched to Dante and I could see you could switch stances mid swing and stuff, just you could perform nutty combos in that game. So the gameplay in 4 is really sick. Where I think 4 struggled is I didn't find the story that interesting. It was okay. It was fine. The story was there and it was fine. I did love the characters. It has some great boss fights. I think one of my favorite boss fights is in that game versus the, what's his name? He's played by the same guy who plays Frank West in Dead Rising. What's his name? Credo. I think that's how you pronounce it. That fight was so sick. That's such a sick fight. One of the best fights in the franchise right there. But yeah, 4's main problem is the level design is fine, but when you get to like the 55-60% way through 4, you switch to Dante and then you just go back. You just travel backwards, and there's nothing much new when you're traveling backwards. There's a couple things, like some areas are frozen over or whatever else, but for the most part, it didn't feel like you backtracked for the sake of the game being good, and the developers were like, this is going to make the game fun and awesome. It felt like there was a time crunch to get the game out, or a budget crunch or something. It felt like there was, it wasn't for the sake of the game being good. I think it was for the sake of time constraints. So it did make the game feel a little cheaper, but I think it's a B. I think it's fun. I do really like the game. Anything in like a C and above, I really, really enjoyed. Like I said, I even enjoyed Devil May Cry 2. So, but I think it's a good, like, top of, let's say there was 50 games, it'd be like the top of B. Or even, like, I could see it being A as well. But I just don't think it's as fine of an experience as DMC. Or Devil May Cry, I don't. But this list is gonna look great, by the way. All right, so it's A. It's A on your tier list. Congratulations. Okay, so DMC. DMC. Where would you guys put this? Z. Holy shit. Okay, we got some haters in the chat. Okay, guys, where would you put it? Where'd you put it? This is a really interesting one. Okay, so we got D, D, Z, 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 D, D. But then we got some B's, C's, F's, C, D, S. We got some S's. C. Okay, so in my opinion, as this is my opinion because it's my tier list, I thought DMC was inoffensive, or no, it's a very offensive game. Actually, it's a inoffensive in some aspects, very offensive in others. So I'm gonna take a stab at something. For those of you who put it C or higher, may I ask you, was it your first Devil May Cry game you ever played? Ones if it was. No, okay. Just curious. I'm just curious. Okay, twos. It wasn't my first DMC game either. I think that the major hate for DMC comes from the fact that it sort of butchered everything we know about the franchise. It just took it in a complete different direction of like the whole... a franchise that never has like humans on the screen doing anything. Like it's all about like the main characters. Yes, there are humans, but there's like a couple. DMC is just like, it's all about humanity. Everything is about the humans. The main bad guy is the richest guy. It's basically the fucking Elon Musk in his top of his tower. And it kept talking about how he was rich because he was taking on so much debt. And it kept emphasizing the fact that he's rich because of the debt. So the game was obviously trying to send a message, because the only way you get rich on this planet is through insane debt, for the most part. For those who know, you know. And for those who don't, well, look into it. That was what the story was all about. Just like, oh, this guy got rich through debt, and now he's trying to ruin the planet to get even more rich through more debt. So story I hated. I thought the story was horrible. I couldn't even pay attention a lot of the time. Like my attention span was drifting because I'm just like, oh, I care so little about what's fucking going on in this goddamn Forsaken story. It was like bothering me. It was so bad. The character, I think Dante, if you're acting like it's classic Dante, he's horrible, you know? But I will say, DMC Dante is very, very reminiscent of DMC5 Nero. Dude, they have like very, very similar ways of speaking. So, you know, take that as you will. But DMC Dante, I thought he was funny sometimes. Like, he's annoying and he's just a punky ass kid, but I didn't hate him. Like, every time I tried to connect him to OG Dante, yes, I hate him because he's nothing like, that's not Dante. That's, if you pretend like it's a completely different character, he's fine in my opinion. I think the boss fights were decent. The gameplay's really good in DMC. The gameplay's pretty sick. Like, being able to combo weapons from other weapons is really, really fun. So in DMC, if your hammer has a 3-hit combo and you start doing a 3-hit combo with your sword, so like Y, and then switch to the hammer and then finish the combo, it will do the hammer's last input. So it'll do the hammer combo's final hit, but just because you switched to it from the sword. And you can do that with every weapon, with every combo, and that's sick. Like, that's so much fun. Now, with that being said, how many average video gamers, how many of them are going to master that kind of thing in one playthrough? Not many, but there is reasons to replay. It has good replayability. But overall, though, I'm giving myself a headache. Overall, I just thought it was okay. Like, I had fun with it, but even though the gameplay was good, I just thought the level design, the pacing, like, it just got boring. The gameplay was really, really, really solid, but the story pissed me off so much, and the formula for levels was pissing me off so much that there was so much grappling and running around and platforming. Like it basically turned into a platformer, DMC. Like you're jumping around so often, and some of the levels feel so drawn out, like they didn't need to be as long as they were. But the club level was great. There was some fantastic levels. Like the club level was sick. There were some great levels in DMC. I'm not saying they're all trash, but I liked DMC though. And the music was sick. Yes, yes. Guys, call me out on stuff I missed. The music was sick. The music was sick. It was really good. It had a great soundtrack. I agree. Virgil was a fucking... Oh, I have never in my life seen a franchise, movie, TV, or video game relaunch itself and reintroduce new characters. Virgil was handled horribly. I've never seen a character butchered that badly. I've never seen them just completely miss the mark. Like with Dante, at least you're still getting the silly, rambunctious, fucking no care in the world badass, you know, in a sense. With Virgil, what the hell were they thinking? Virgil's literally like, if you talk to any gaming historian, someone that plays like all the games, you know, they play their Call of Duties, they play FIFA, they played Baldur's Gate, they played Spider-Man, they played Resident Evil, they played Silent Hill, they played Clash of Clans, they played League of Legends, they played World of War. You ask someone like that, Virgil's on the top 10 coolest character list every time. It's like Virgil and Wesker are both up there, okay, for at least for bad guys. Virgil's like a fucking giga nerd in DMC, but the fedora and everything, like what the hell were they thinking with that? I can't even comprehend what they could possibly be thinking with that character. Like they took the absolute coolest character and turned him into the biggest dweeb I've ever seen. It's sickening to think about. It's sickening. Like it's sickening because like that's like taking Leon and like making him 4'5" and like just a puny loser. Like why? Like why would you ever do that? Why would you take this beloved, like, okay, we're gonna relaunch this franchise. What do people love that will translate to a new audience? Well, no one loves how cool Virgil is. Like what the fuck were you thinking? Like some things are fine to take into a new reboot. Like you gotta make sure the cool stuff is still cool. Just because you're rebooting something doesn't mean you just scrap everything and change everything. If it works, it works. Like, god damn, they didn't change. They changed Dante, sure, but they didn't like completely change him. He's still like relatively similar character. Virgil's nothing like Virgil. He's horrible. I heard the DLC's okay though. I didn't play it because I couldn't stomach it, honestly. All right. And last but not least, we have DMC5. So, I love the gameplay in DMC5. Nero's so fun, Dante's so fun, and I hate the gameplay of V. And I hate the gameplay of V. You can go back and watch my past broadcast. It's on YouTube, or you can check it on Twitch. This is how to get a triple S rank in every single room on V. Literally, this is literally what I was doing. Every room with V, every room. I was just going like this. And you were triple S, SSS smoking sexy style, like every time. It's so annoying. It's like, why? Why is it? You can't do this on any other character, by the way. You cannot get away with this on any other character. But V is literally just like, and I don't like V that much as a character. But, I digress. Everything else I loved. And you know, V, I do like some stuff about V. Like I like his little poetry book and stuff. And I know it's supposed to be it's supposed to be the super, super good side of Virgil, correct? But you know, I don't know. It's not the human side. Okay. Yeah. Human side. Anyway, I'm not gonna get caught up on V. I just thought he was an okay character. But Nero, I love what they did with Nero. He's sort of like DMC Dante in a way, like how he talks. And I know some of you won't be able to handle that. You can't take it. Like, no, Bog, you're wrong. He's nothing like DMC Dante. Bro, he is. Like, the way he speaks is very similar. But he's way better. Like, I way prefer Nero. He's not like over the top. DMC Dante is completely over the top, but Nero doesn't like break that line. And Dante's really cool too. I like what they did with Dante. I like his character growth. I like what he has turned into as an old man. And I love the relationship of Virgil and Dante in 5. Like when you get to that end part of like the last like hour of 5 is absolute fucking cinema. Like what they've done there with even the last boss fights, the last few cutscenes, and the final like credit segment, everything there I think is absolute peak. And DMC5 has some amazing boss fights. It has the best gameplay. Like it probably has the best gameplay of any action game ever made, in my opinion. Just super, super solid. And what I appreciate about a lot of games is when you're making a game, a shortish game like DMC5, that's not even going to sell crazy well. Like they know the DMC game has never sold like crazy well. It's never sold like 10 million copies, at least, correct if I'm wrong. And even despite that, they went in on the gameplay. They made gameplay that takes like 50, 60, 70, like 100, 200, 300, 400 hours to master in a game that's going to take your average player like 10 hours to beat, 11, 12. And yeah, it shows. And I hope this game sold. I would assume this is the highest selling DMC because of that quality they have on the game. DMC 5 has sold insanely now. Sold 9 million. Ooh, damn. So, okay, we're at the 10 million now. Oh, that's sick. That is sick. And it deserves that. I think DMC5 is also an S, but in my opinion, I like 3 a little more because I enjoy the story in 3 a little more. I think the V segments for me take a bit away from 5. Because when I was playing V, I just didn't care about the V stuff. I really didn't. And with DMC3, I cared about everything. Like all the cutscenes with Virgil, foolishness, Dante. And then he sticks the sword and even more foolishness. Like everything in DMC3 felt so cinematic in a way that like there was such an attention to detail in 3 with the cutscenes, especially like this insinuates that showing the number of the next chapter somewhere in the cutscene. Like you're always glued to the screen in 3 for the cutscenes, and for me at least. God, and yeah, like I seen a short the other day. It's like, why doesn't Dante ever shoot Virgil with his pistols in the DMC franchise? And then it goes to 3 and it shows that one cutscene where he shoots him with the pistols, Ebony and Ivory, on top of the tower, and Virgil spins and then puts all the rounds on the ground and then flicks them back at him with his sword. It's like, that's why he doesn't shoot him. Like there's so many small things in DMC3 that evolved into the rest of the franchise. I love. But yeah, I don't think so. The only like bad game, if you guys were to do a Devil May Cry franchise playthrough, you probably wouldn't like this game. This game's not fun for your average player that isn't streaming. It's a game where you're spamming the shoot button at a bunch of annoying enemies, and the story, Dante says like 2 sentences in this fucking game. Yo, you wanna be king? Here's your crown. Ba-boom. Like he has a couple one-liners, but like overall he just doesn't, like, it's clear the budget wasn't there for 2. It's either the budget wasn't there or the passion, or literally both, because that game was yikes. It's not cool to state your opinion as fact. Holy shit, Rich Raider. I've said like in my own opinion 50 times during this fucking tier list. How many times do I have to say it? God. Yeah, that's what I think. I like all the games though. Even DMC2 I liked. But yeah. I loved this franchise though. I loved playing through them. I loved meeting the community. Like a lot of new people came into the chat with passion for the franchise. And I love seeing that too. It makes me very happy to get to know, or, you know, talk to people that love these games. And the DMC community was very welcoming. And you know what? You'd think there was a ton of backseaters, like, yeah, you're not playing right. There was a ton of backseating, as in like, you should do this, you should do that. But there wasn't a lot of people like being mean. They were just trying to give advice on the gameplay, which is granted. But yeah, I love these. Love these games. DMC2 sucks, and the rest of them are fun. Two was made very rushly. Yeah, it seems like it. These games loved me. Thank you, waifu. And I know you love these games very much. Yeah, the community was cool. Everyone, I love seeing, like, people are so passionate about DMC. You know what the worst thing about this franchise is? Every time I say DMC, there's a fucking game called DMC, and I don't ever want to talk about it ever again after this tier list. And like, oh, do you like DMC? And they're like, oh yeah, I love that game. It's like, no, fuck, I'm talking about the franchise. God, why does this game have to be called DMC? I hate it. Like, I wish they called it something else, like Devil Doesn't Cry or something. Yeah, watching someone skilled at the games is fun. Waifu. Devil might cry. I mean, the devils always cry. One sec. All right, am I ever gonna play DMC again though?
Not in a million years.
This is called a reboot. Yeah, the reboot. Okay, guys, now rate my tier list. Give it an S, A, B, C, D, or E. Put it in deep lights winter. It's clear to me you have some issues in general. B, wife. I know waifu would take Don't Make Cry down here. Here, is this your list, waifu? Is this the waifu list? Wait, is this the waifu list? Can I guess what it is? This is my guess at what it would be. S. I have 5 below 2. Okay, whoa. Okay, I didn't think you were that big of a hater. Okay. Below 2. Waifu. Hey, do you see this, guys? Look what's happening right now. Lights. Hey, Lights Winter, take a pencil and a fucking piece of paper out and look at this. Another friend of mine just had the complete opposite opinion of me. He put my S game in E. I don't even have anything in E. And guess what I did? I said, whoa, he has a different opinion than me. And I ended it there. Is that hard, internet? Is that so fucking hard to do for some people? God damn. God. Ah, some people. I swear. I swear. How'd he do that? I mean, the list would look better. Like, it would present better. That's the thing, guys. You have to understand. It's just my opinion, man. And if yours is... Oh, let's do the community rank. One sec, before I do that. Oops. Community rank. Pull my devil trigger. Community rank. All right, what am I gonna guess for the community rank? I'm gonna guess DMC's below 2. Oh, I'm gonna guess 5 is the highest rated. Okay, that's not too bad. Wait, what the hell is this? Okay. Like, in my opinion... Okay, you know what? I'm out of my depth here. Give me a sec. All right, let me check. Let me check this one. Let me check this one so I can actually make my statement. Seven? Seven S tier. Dude, look at the D tier. Outbreak File 2, D tier. Outbreak, okay. Outbreak being in the same as all these is like, that's ridiculously stupid. Everything else lining up in D, that's fine. I think all these games could be in D. I could see it. In some world, I could see it. Outbreak? Outbreak? Really? Outbreak Offline is a D. Sometimes. This is funny though. I didn't expect this. I thought 5 would be the highest. You know what's really funny about this? You think the highest selling game would be at the top. I get it, Rich Raider. Listen, a lot of the time when people get mad at me, I'm not saying every time, and this may come off the wrong way to some people. This is ironic that I'm going to even say this. But a lot of the time when, like you said, oh, you know, don't state your opinion as fact. I get that people get mad at me a lot because they're just misunderstanding or misconstruing the point of trying to get across, or I'm being way too sarcastic. They're not picking up on it, or they just fucking hate my opinion. That's fine. But yeah, I don't, the only way I look at your username and I think like, wow, what a piece of shit, is if you're actually mean to me. If you're disagreeing with me, I don't care. It's fine. It's fine. I'm not too caught up about it. It's all right, dude. Thank you, Big Boss. Thank you, Yasuo. That's true. I guess so, waifu, yeah. No one that isn't in love with the franchise would do a tier list for Devil May Cry. Why would they? Yo, Leander boy. Hello, sir. Doom. Bought coffee. The worst thing you could do is be mean. Be nice. 1 second. 80% sarcastic. What? That's not very nice. I'm 90% sarcastic. That was actually sarcasm. We did the tier list. Are you guys happy? Another list? No one wants to see another tier list. No one wants to see another one. How about a Resident Evil tier list?